Hello friends, how are you all doing today? I am here. So, question that I'm sure that you have is, what the heck is going on with this channel? Because I stream, I'm known to stream a decent amount, but I'm also, I don't know, I've sort of been all over the place in my content strategy, and I'm gonna try to solidify and, well, decide what it's going to actually mean. So I figured I'll talk with you guys about it, see what you guys think. So right now, I've mostly been making whatever. I've been trying to have one long-running series. I have two tabletop games, one a week, effectively. And after that, I just have some random junk, whatever. Like, just random stuff here and there and whatever. And that is all well and good. Like, no, genuinely, it is fantastic, and I love it. It brings me a lot of happiness. But I feel like if I'm really going to try to improve myself and improve what I'm doing and improve what I'm creating, I need to not narrow it, but I need to focus it. Does that make sense? This other thing working? So I have a little bit of a tech setup shenaniganry at the same time here. I think it's working. I don't know. Things might work, things might not work. Cool. So the first, as I'm sure many of you know, if you're on Twitch, you're allowed to multi-stream. And the question is, Jade, are you going to multi-stream? And the answer is, I am right now. Long answer is no. Short answer is yes. Let me explain. I think that multi-streaming is overall a bad thing, because it's going to split audience, and I would rather have my audience on YouTube where I'm making content that I care about, while at the same time understanding that Twitch has good growth. And let's be honest, I have a lot of friends on Twitch. I have a lot of friends on the Twitch.television who are making fantastic content, and I'm always the outlier, right? I am always the filthy YouTuber, the weird one in the group who does things over here on YouTube. Over there on Twitch, if you're watching there right now for some strange reason. What the heck are you doing over there? I mean, I don't know. I'm kidding, please. I am a YouTuber at heart, but I want to improve my YouTube content first. What does that mean? That means I want to start making more edited content. I have a couple things in the pipeline that I'm working on. I'm going to do more shorts, which are TikToks as well, because I have... the weird thing is, TikTok is my primary platform. Do you want to just, talk about that? Because I have more followers I have, 4 times the number of followers on TikTok than I have on YouTube. So, I don't really know what to make of that. But I want to make more edited stuff in general. And I want to make more, shorts in specific. Hello, friend. Konnichiwa to you. Dozo onegaishimasu. Yoroshiku and stuff. My TikToks are really well made. Well, I appreciate that. I do my work on them. I try my hard to do that. I wanted to do some more Lies of P. I was doing that as a series where I was making it, very minor edits to things and releasing them in 40-minute segments as pre-recorded videos. The reason I stopped is actually because I was sick. All throughout, December and a good chunk of January, and even now there's still a tickle in the back of my throat, my throat was pretty sick. I'm sure you could notice it. If you've been here for a while, you definitely noticed it in my content, right? Well, I'm over that now. 90%, mostly. It sucked. It lasted for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 17,000 weeks. And I want to get back into recording stuff. So, I have a music video that I'm working on. I have some more Lies of P that I'm going to record, because recording is a big part of what I want to do. I don't know how that actually showed up. I hope it showed up okay. I just had to scratch my eye. I want to make more shorts and TikToks. I want this to be my bread and butter, though. At the end of the day, I want my bread and butter to be story content. Right? I want to pick up a game and play it from start to finish and have people sit down with a playlist and watch all of it. To sit down with me and play it along and watch it alongside me. And I want those two things to be seamless. If you miss an episode, I don't want you to say, I'll catch the next one. I want to create an environment in which you feel happy to say, oh, I'll watch the VOD. I'll go check out the episode that I missed. Instead of, oh, that sucks, I guess I'll catch the next one. Because there's two mentalities at play here, right? And I might get into a little bit of, like, this is all behind the scenes stuff, right? But YouTube is more focused on that sort of experience, and Twitch is not, right? And I need to find a way to... I need to find a way to do both. But, I also want to do more meme reviews and meme content. But I almost feel like I need to do that on a new channel? And I don't know if that's true. I feel like if I want to do memes and I want to do more edited video essay stuff, I shouldn't do that on this channel, because this channel is more about the long-form series and the gameplay. So I might make a new streaming channel for that. Hello, Streamer Doggo. Welcome. See, I have both chats on up at the same time. Isn't that cool? Does that fade away? That should be fading away. What fades away? I have no idea. Everything's broken? Is everything broken? Probably. Let's adjust that. Nope, too much. That's probably okay. Maybe. So, we just finished up Triangle Strategy, a game that had its ups and downs. Overall, it was a good game that had a lot of strange aspects to it. Things that I enjoyed, but some things I didn't enjoy as much. So I want to cool down and play something that's a bit more safe, I guess? This is something that's going to be a little bit shorter, because that game was getting really long in the tooth, especially at the end there. I have queued up Blossom Tales of the Sleeping King, which is an older, not older, but a little bit older indie Zelda-like, I guess. It is very much an homage to the old Link to the Past style of Zelda. And after that, I genuinely am not sure what the next big series is going to be. I could just play Zelda again. I could fire up a new Grand game. I do want to play Octopath Traveler 2. That is a game that I am very much looking forward to playing. But it's also another grand adventure that's going to last for 60 episodes, which I don't know if I want to start another grand adventure that's going to last for 60 episodes right now. You know what I mean? I don't know if right now is when I want to do another hyper long-term commitment. Link to the Past, Zelda 3 is pretty close to the top of the list of things I want to play. It's a fantastic game. It's a delightful game. It's one of the greatest games of all times, and I will gush about it. So, that is very high on the things that I want to be playing in the near future. I could go back and do more emulator games, too. Greetings to the Tuzzy. No, welcome. So, that's a bit odd. Oh, everything's a bit odd. Why is there a line there? What element is making a line there? Oh, this isn't using the spout capture. Whatever, it's fine for today. Did I fix it? Yes, I did. Cool. There was just some artifacting right around to this area here. I just fixed it. Don't worry about it. If you didn't see it, don't worry. You were never meant to. You're fascinated by my character? Oh, thank you. You hardly speak English. Well, you are always welcome here, and I hope that you have a good time. This is a very comfy and relaxing channel, and I want to keep it that way. I like playing some stressful games, like when I was doing Elden Ring, I was having an absolute blast. But I want the whole overall vibe of the channel to be cozy and welcoming and comforting. I just want to have a good time and bring you with me, you know? And I honestly, okay, I say that, and I feel like I've been successful about that. Genuinely. I feel like I've been successful in doing that so far. That's why you're here, right? If it wasn't successful, you wouldn't be here. And like I have yeah, I am actually back on channel growth. The channel's actually been starting to it was in a lull for a while. It's been starting to grow again. I have new stuff in the pipeworks. Barra. How are you guys doing? I guess like, the question I should be asking is, what do you guys want to see? Because I do listen to that and I do care about that. I am interested in what people want to watch me play, only to a certain point, because I want to make sure that I'm having a good time. I'm not going to play another. I'm not going to get browbeaten into playing a game that I don't want to play again. That's happened a few times on the channel. That's happened several times on the channel. I don't 1000% want that to happen again. But I also want to just do both. I want to listen. I want to make a good content. That's 90% of everything, right? I want to make things that people want to watch. You, that's all you want to see? Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I will do my best to be myself. That's one thing I'm good at. I'm good at being myself. If there's nothing else that I can do, I know I can do that. Some of the other channels that I watch have really found their stride, right? So a couple other channels that I watch have really found their stride in what they want to do, what they want to make, what they want to build, what they want to present. Things like, I mean, Playframe, Pro Jared, those are two heavy inspirations. Peanut Butter Gamer's gone in a slightly different direction, focusing more on Twitch with some edited content and VODs on the YouTube side, whereas Super Butter Buns has gone full VODs. Where several channels that I don't actively follow anymore, like Game Grumps, I have no idea what they're doing these days. But at the end of the day, I'm not like... This sounds terrible. Oh my gosh, this sounds so awful to say. I'm not like other girls. No, I'm not like other VTubers. You know, my content is more in the style of a YouTuber Let's Play channel than in the style of most VTubers. And you guys know that. You guys like that. That's why you're here, again. Game Grumps is kind of doing their own thing nowadays. That's cool. That's good to hear. Alpharad is another channel that I watch regularly, that I enjoy a lot of. And his content for edited videos is an inspiration for the kind of stuff I want to make. Now, I can't go as extreme as the stuff that he does, but as far as the gameplay videos, I hope that I can edit together something that might be entertaining in that same vein. The biggest stumbling block there is just the time commitment. Like, if I myself am just taking a Lies of P and making it into a 40-minute video, it'll take as long for me to make as it will to do a 2-hour stream. I'm not even kidding on that. One episode of Lies of P, of 40 minutes, takes about 2 hours. Playing a video game for 2 hours takes about 2 hours. And by just logging on, whirlwind slamming the live button, and coming out here and saying hi to y'all, then I can just do that, right? I can just make the streams that. And so it is easier. But I do like some of the post-edits that I can put into the edited videos. I do like sending a video to Hensha and having it come out, like, with a whole with some more interesting edits. Not that I've had her do any, heavily edited stuff in the recent past, because money. I don't know, it's just so many different types of content, and I want to make all of them. I'm gonna do streams, don't worry. I'm gonna be doing streams. But I want to augment it. I want to supplement it. I want to work with streams and also work with edited videos. And also work with... gameplay uploads, I guess that's how I would phrase it. The offline streams. And I'm going to be doing TikToks, and I'm going to be working a job and taking care of a dog and 2 cats, and also trying to find at some point in my life to actually go out and mow the lawn. So I got a lot going on in my life, but it brings me so much happiness. It really does. It brings me so much happiness to do this. And that's why I do it. Because I'm happy. Because it genuinely does make me happy. And the fact that I make other people happy, the fact that you guys are happy, is awesome. And just makes it all worth it. I have a lawn. I have a very small lawn. Despite actually having a good chunk of property, I have a small little stamp of lawn that doesn't take. I just have a push mower. I don't even have a gas mower. I just have a push mower to clean it. I could clean it up. All the rest of my property is all woods. I do not live on a suburban stamp. And thank goodness, my goodness, I have opinions about those. But yeah, I actually am dual streaming right now on across the Twitch.television and the YouTube.coms, and it's kind of what I expected. The people who actually find me and are watching me on the YouTubes is the majority of my audience, because this is where I do stuff. But I do think it's interesting that when I do log on to the Twitch.televisions, I do have a lot of you follow me. And that actually is a really good sign for me, because that shows me that what's more important is me than where I am. Does that make sense? It means I'm not losing an audience by not being on the Twitch.television. The Twitch does have a community aspect that YouTube simply doesn't have. Raids and I don't know a lot of other YouTube VTubers, and that's actually what I want to do. I want to meet other YouTube VTubers. If you know or are a YouTube VTuber, hit me up. I don't know. I just need to make more YouTuber friends. I mean, my biggest YouTuber, my closest, I guess, was what I mean to say. My closest YouTuber friend is GD, Great Dictator. And aside from that, it's after that, it's pretty much just everybody who... Oh, hello and thank you so much. That was a subscription on the Twitch side, as opposed to subscriptions and memberships and things. Oh, what was I talking about? I don't know. I lost my train of thoughts. Heck. You're the only YouTube streamer I watch. Streaming on YouTube seems such a different vibe. Yeah, and that's, I think, why my when I did stream on Twitch, it just doesn't do as well, because my streaming style is more of a YouTubing style, which can both mean the Let's Play style, or maybe the corporate VTuber style, or I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here. I'm going to reapply to corporate VTuber status. I'm not going to apply to Needy Sanji. Oh my gosh. Are we going to talk about that? Needy Sanji shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over again? Yikes. I think I still have it, come to think of it. Needy Sanji's minor code in my description, just because Needy Sanji's notice to minors has really good wording. Kuro Sanji, that's a good joke. That is an extremely good joke. It's also a joke that's difficult to translate, but yeah, it's a black company. The idea of Needy Sanji as a black company is very funny to me. So I probably will need to find a new... I'll be subscribing to HoloLive, and... I don't know. I'm happy here. But I still have dreams of being able to make content full-time. And YouTube has been growing slowly enough and TikTok has little enough money in it, that I'm uncertain about if I can do that on my own. I'm uncertain if I can actually become a profitable VTuber in this on my own. And really, I do appreciate the subs and the memberships and the super chats. I really do. They mean a lot to me. But we all know that that doesn't add up to, you know, a full-time job yet. Not even anywhere near it. The number, I would have to like 30,000 followers and be hitting, you know, 500 people at a time to actually be making enough to quit my job. And yet every fiber of my body is saying do it. Every fiber of my body is saying, hey Jade, quit your job and become a content creator. You can pull it off. I have this strange thing where I like eating. I like being able to pay my bills and eat food, and that's the only thing that's holding me back. That's all that's holding me back. If somebody wants to come up here and feed me, then you know what? Maybe. But And honestly, if I did go corporate, it wouldn't be that much of a change because it would still be me. It would still be my style. You know, I wouldn't change my content. It would just be a different avatar and a different channel name. Which could happen. Let's be honest, that can happen. I'm also thinking about blasting a lot of my old videos. Because I'm going to be honest with everybody, my channel is clogged as heck. I want to make sure that when people click on something on my channel or a playlist or any whatever comes up, they're seeing something of good quality. And I have a lot of playlists of things that no longer really represent the kind of content I'm making. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to go back and watch my Mario 3 100% no skips playthrough from March 1st of 2021? And if you say yes, then you're very kind, but no, you're not. I'm sure one of you is going to now. I'm sure now you will. No doubt there. But don't do that thing. I want to make sure that I want to curate it. I want to make sure that when people find my channel, everything they look for is good quality. You don't know if you'd watch older Jade nowadays? Yeah, and plus, like, look at my old... Like, remember my old model? Remember that model? Like, hold on. It wasn't a bad model, but it couldn't capture the range of emotion that I needed it to, frankly. Jade, Legacy... Where's Legacy? Remember this? Does this mean I'm replaying Bloodborne? Honestly, I might. I could see doing that as a replay. Redo some of my older stuff. But yeah, remember hacking this old the avatar? It was good, it was cute, and I'm so glad I had it, but that just did two things wrong that it never actually that were awful. A, it didn't show enough emotion. I noticed that especially when I was playing Final Fantasy VI. It didn't show the depth of emotion that I needed it to. You know, it didn't show the shock, the sorrow, the anger that this model I feel captures better, but still isn't perfect. I wouldn't mind working towards a new model. You've been watching through the Prey playthrough recently? That was a good playthrough. Yeah, I will probably keep that one up. But there's a lot of several of the older ones I think can well and truly be retired. You haven't made your debut yet, but you're still studying. Can you recommend Jade? You know, I don't know, but I like the way you speak with intonation. I recommend practicing acting. I mean, just, you know, learn more about improv acting if you want to become a VTuber. And talk with inflection. You want to make sure that you are not saying the same words at the same volume, at the same pace over and over and over, because it gets really boring and your audience is not going to... You want to break it up. You want to sometimes talk a little bit faster, and sometimes you want to talk slower to emphasize something. And that's hard to learn. It's hard to put into practice. At this point, I've integrated a lot of those things into my regular day-to-day talk. I talk like a streamer day-to-day. This is just... I'm sorry. But... the tonality, lowering and dropping and raising up your pitch, and just going, you know, just thinking about things, and just, you know, sometimes going a bit lower, and, you know, when things are serious. But also being really excited and bring your voice up when you're talking faster, because it sounds more natural when you're talking really quickly to bring your voice higher. Having that sort of variability, that malleability, adjusting those tenets of your voice on the fly is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big part of your journey as a VTuber, is learning to do those things. Because if you just always talk monotonous, you could be saying the most interesting thing in the world and no one's going to care. No one's going to care. And we all know this innately. We know this from watching sitcoms on TV. We know this from watching movies. We know this from watching streamers that we like. We know this from watching content creators and videos and essayists and TikToks and all of these things. But you need to make it your own. You need to actually integrate it into what you're doing. I say that, but half of Hololive exists, and the half of Hololive you're talking about is more on the Japanese side, and that's a much different language that has different rules and different styles. Most of Hololive is fantastic. I'm not going to dismiss Hololive's work. They're a fantastic set of streamers. A lot of them do outstanding work. But the ones of them that are more flat are kind of going for more of that Japanese straight man type of character. And that is a character. Don't make a mistake about that. You can't stream as often as a VTuber does and not have a big part of yourself in what you do, but also, it is in some part still a character. I am not, in fact, I regret to inform you this, I may not be a blue lizard, IRL. Honestly, I don't watch corporate VTubers because I spend too much time working on my own stuff. The stuff that I watch is not VTubers, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know if that's like something that helps me or hurts me. I genuinely don't. Because on one hand, I am a VTuber. I should be watching VTubers to learn from them. I should be trying to do what but I should, I learn ways, get tricks and tips from them. On the other hand, that's not what I like watching. That's not what I watch, and I make content that's more like what I watch. And I think that one of my limitations is that people see me and think, oh, it's just a VTuber, when I feel like I should be more closely compared to a Let's Player. You know? I feel like I shouldn't be in the same lineup as most of the other VTubers. And I'm definitely not a furry content creator. Like, I'm just not. Let's be honest with ourselves. I know y'all are furries, and I know y'all love it, and I love y'all. But we all know I'm not a furry content creator. That's just not the kind of content that I make. There's a very specific type of content that furry content creators are making, and it ain't here, right? Corporate VTuber economics are in the tank right now, thanks to the black company. It's just Niji-Sanji. It's just Niji-Sanji, and I really do appreciate how many people follow Doki into her YouTube channel. Genuinely, this is great to see. It's outstanding to see. And I do hope that continues. I hope that actually turns into a forward thing, of people being more willing to accept the public, the non-corporate VTubers, right? Because there's a lot of people who only followed corporate. A lot of people found VTubing because of Pekora, or, Kurone, or Miko, who was doing the rap style. That's actually what got me into it. Was the VTuber who was singing along to that video in playing, I think, like Rafts or Ark or some survival game, and that's what got me into it. That was like, oh dude, that's kind of cool, I like that. And then the what solidified it was, of course, Debidu. Debidu is a delight, is a fantastic VTuber, and one of my biggest inspirations. You found VTubers via me? Nice. A VTuber who hates VTubers? Are you starting to sound like Fiznam? I don't know who Fiznam is. Who is Fiznam? Hold on. I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna Google this live on wherever I am. Toxic Cesspit? Game developer? Oh, the Five Nights at Freddy's guy? I don't know anything about them. But yeah, Jade looking down on you for being a fluffy. No, not at all. I like I enjoy furries. I think that furries are very cool, but I don't make furry content. I don't really make furry focused stuff. I just use the I just use the tags because it's fun. Look, just because I've been to a furry convention and worn a fursuit and also hosted a panel because I walked into a panel and it needed to be hosted, and also have a Kobold avatar does not make me a furry. Okay, look, it's different for some reason. That I'll figure it out later. I don't know why it's different, but it's different for some reason. Okay, we cool on that? We all agree? Awesome. Thanks. Great. The difference is the denial. How dare you? You're not super sure what makes a VTuber or a VTuber style content creator outside of being someone who likes a VTuber model to represent themselves? There's a set of expectations that people have when watching a VTuber. And I don't... Tara, please. Okay, I think that cat knocks me over and that... Okay, whatever. And I don't know that I fit those. I just am myself and I do cool stuff, but there is a set of expectations about VTubers that a lot of people go into with, just as far as the type of content that you're getting. Kobold Avatar. And you know, the funny thing about the Kobold Avatar really is that I'm not that big of a tabletop RPG player. Like, I have my two games, and one that I'm running, one that I'm playing in. I like both of them, but if I'm being real honest with y'all, I'm not really that, much of a... I'm not as into TTRPGs. I like them, I love them, and I really do enjoy playing with content creators, but, like, I'm not going to start making Ginny D style content. I'm not going to start, doing a session every day or anything. Like, I enjoy my tabletop games. But I think it's funny when people see me and assume that I'm, like, huge into D&D. When actually D&D is not my favorite system at all. D&D is, like, barely escapes the top 5 of RPG systems. It's like, no, I just think kobolds are cool. I like this design. I like this style. I feel cute. That's what's important. That's the biggest reason to be a VTuber, is to feel cute. The Kobold Avatar is well designed. I am inclined to agree. You stream more indie board games than RPGs? Not really. I haven't done any board game nights in a very long time. Disappointingly long time, frankly. I should just get things along. I should get more people into playing Spirit Island again. I love Spirit Island so much. What? I scream more indie. Oh, you're saying words. I should be reading words when you say words. I see. That's how literacy works. I misunderstood. That's interesting. I'll need to think about what that. I'll need to think about the repercussions of that. Because I feel like that might mean something. I might need to do something with that information. I might need to, like, actually think about things. And thinking is scary. But yeah, if I could choose any type of streamer to be, and I can, obviously, like, that is well within my right to decide. But if I think that, like, retro-style JRPGs would be very close to the top of that list, followed by grand RPGs like Elden Ring and such. Those are the things that I enjoy most. You're attracted to VTubers. The first thing you look at is their appearance, and the second thing Is there humanity? Oh, humanity. That I appreciate that. Yeah, I am real. Even if I am not, always a lizard. I am real. I am real. Let me put this up here. There. Yay! And you have to have humanity, right? If you want to do content creation of any sort, you need to put yourself into it. You need to be honest about it. You need to put your own thoughts and feelings and emotions into it. Otherwise, who cares? Otherwise, who's going to be interested, right? Like, it's all genuine. When I'm screaming or when I'm panicking on stream, that's real. Those are real emotions. It's true. I mean, sometimes I might be amping it up a little bit more than how I feel. I might be, putting a little bit more expression into it, but that doesn't make it fake. It's all completely true. And that truth, that honesty, that humanity, that realism is not easy to learn. And I recommend that if you want to learn that, again, take an acting class, right? I have the advantage of age, right? I am ancient. I accept this. I have the advantage of being a bit older and having been in plays and a movie and TV show. I have this. I've never been famous, but I've always been next to famous. I'm not huge, I'm not like a huge, star, but I'm doing okay. I got, 10,000 on the TikToks. I got a good amount of people watching me on the YouTubes. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself. But yeah, if you are looking to learn how to present, record and watch yourself. You will cringe out of your skull. You will be so disappointed in yourself, but you will learn and you will improve. Genuinely. You have to watch your own stuff once in a while. Even if it makes you feel dumb. Bah. Anyways. I don't know what I'm going to be making in the near futures. Do I have... Aside from my note... Second Densetsu is one option that I was considering playing. I do think that a Half-Life run would be interesting. Like a Half-Life 2 run, that is. I think that would be fun. It's been a long time since I've played that game. I do have Helldivers, but here's the question, though. If I play Helldivers, is that a good choice for the channel? Right? Like, Helldivers is a cool game. I'm going to be playing it. I'm probably going to be playing some more Monster Hunter, too, but, like, is that what I want my channel to be? Is that what I want on here? Is that what I want to be known for? And I don't even know if I do, because, like, I like the game, but I want this channel on the YouTubes to be more focused on these narrative games, of which Helldivers is not, of which Monster Hunter is not, of which Backpack Hero is not, of which... What else can I, put a slot into there? Valorant, I guess? I don't really play that much anymore, but... Do I do that? Right? Do I play these games that I don't necessarily want to be the style of the channel? And I don't have an answer. Like, this is a rhetorical question, and I am half asking for you guys for as much as I'm asking for my own thoughts. Like, just looking at, my most recent streams, Triangle Strategy, Grand RPG, performed poorly. Not a lot of people actually watched through all of that. It did okay, but A few chat streams, which I'll keep on doing. These chat streams are good, and they help. And the one about TTRPGs with Lennon did pretty well. And then, like, there's weird outliers in weird places, and I don't know what to make of it. Like, Banners of Ruin is a game that it's just kind of a one-off. Do I just do one-offs once in a while, and what do I do if it's successful? What do I do if it actually does good? Do I do another Mario and Rabbids stream? Maybe I do, because it's kind of fun, but I'm not doing that as a narrative. I'm not doing that there. Ah. The chat streams are some of your favorite? I probably should do a chat stream every week. I mean, I know that they do well and I know people like them, but they always make me nervous. And the reason they make me nervous is not like, stage fright or anything like that. It's actually just because I don't like watching other people's chat streams. Like, that's the reason I don't do as many chat streams, even though I don't hate them, even though I don't mind them, even though they do well on the channel. It's that when I am watching another YouTuber and they have a channel update video, I skip it. 9 times out of 10, I don't care. Like, oh, hey, the completionist put out a channel update. Neat. I wonder what the next actual video is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't do it as often, is because I don't feel great when other people do that. But you guys love it. I'm okay with it. It's just this staple in my brain mind. It's just this little stuck thing that's in my head that makes my brain mind say, hey, Jade, don't do this. You'll be making something that people won't like. Even though objectively people like it. Even though objectively I like it. Even though objectively it's good, I find it difficult to convince myself to do. And I'm not 1000% sure what to do with that. Like, would I be happier just, playing Final Fantasy IX right now? Maybe. Honestly, maybe, kinda. I love the Final Fantasy IX, and that halfway would turn into a chat stream because of the long JRPG battles. I'd just be chatting my way through them. But you wouldn't show up for that. Let's be honest with ourselves. I see how many people are watching this now. I saw how many people were watching Triangle Strategy. You guys wouldn't show up for that. This is not me calling you out or anything, but it's simply, true. You guys wouldn't show up for it for me just doing a chat stream where I'm playing Final Fantasy IX, whereas you would if I just, label it chat stream. And I need to think about that when I'm planning out my streams. The question is, what's piquing your interest at this point in time? It is and it isn't, because, like, on one hand, you're right. On the other hand, it's not about chasing the algorithm. It's about chasing the viewer interest. Right? I want to play Deathloop. I really want... I did Dishonored 2, and Dishonored 2.5, the stabby one, where you play as Billy. And I wanted to do Deathloop next, but by the time I ended up with Dishonored 2.5, nobody was caring, and it's like, I can't in good faith chase what I want to make right now, not and keep my audience's attention. And I haven't played it on my own yet because I have this second stop in my brain that says, Jade, you can't play that on your own. You might want to stream that someday. And that, my friends, is something that catches me a lot. Being stuck in this limbo of wanting to play a game, not feeling like it's good for the channel, but not wanting to play it and not stream it. And that's what I don't know what to do about. That's what I don't know how to handle. That's what I don't know how to think. Is Twitch even working? Is the Twitch.television even working right now? I have no idea. Probably not. Whatever. I don't care. It's Twitch. Screw it. Yeah, that's my attitude towards the platform. Ah. Meow, 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 meow. me see. Put it down there. Okay, cool. I like Final Fantasy IX. I think it would be a good thing to stream. I think it would be a good thing for the channel, and it would be a lot of chat. It would be a lot of just talking, you know, watching the cutscenes together, and then just talking about stuff and about games during the battles. And I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't know how my viewership will be. I don't know how many people care about that. You guess I wouldn't stream Final Fantasy VII then, or is that? Hold on. I want to wait until that series is done. I absolutely want to stream Final Fantasy VII Remake and Remake Intergrade or whatever it is, or Remake Interlude 2, or Remake Butt Things, Remake Butt Party. I don't know how they're naming it, because I've sort of been waiting for it to be done so I could play through all of it at once. And I know that's like another 5 years off or whatever, but that was my plan, and that kind of still is my plan. I do want to play it. I think that when they announce the third one, or if assuming it is, they are doing it in a trilogy form, I think that when they announce the last one, then I'm going to start playing it from the first one. Remake and Rebirth, yeah. So once Return, or whatever they call the third one, is announced, I'll run the first two, and then run the third one when it comes out. And that's my plan. Is it a good idea? Oh. So, that's the plan, though. I absolutely do want to play them on the channel. They look good. I also like Final Fantasy... Oh, thank you very much. I also really do enjoy Final Fantasy VI, and would love to go through, and that was a fantastic playthrough, and Final Fantasy V was really fun, and I loved talking about all the interesting dynamics in that game. And I could do Final Fantasy IV. I could just keep on going in that, or I could do more Breath of Fire. We did Breath of Fire 1 on the channel a long time ago. Remember that? Remember that? Remember I did Breath of Fire 1? I could do Breath of Fire 2. I've actually been wanting to. But again, would you guys be interested in that? Would you guys be interested in watching me do a playthrough of Breath of Fire 2? Genuinely. Be honest with me. I genuinely am curious. What about Spyro? I've never played any of this outside of the original. I've never played any of the Spyro games. I've almost never played any big collectathons, other than Odyssey. Odyssey was the first 3D Mario that I ever played outside of like 20. No, actually, that is the first 3D Mario that I ever played. Yeah. And I went into it with no nostalgia, completely blind, and had a great time with it. But I never played a lot of collectathons. How big of a fan of Breath of Fire 2 am I? I've never played it. I have no idea. I have no idea anything about Breath of Fire 2. All I know is that it is a video game, JRPG. That's it! I genuinely don't know anything about the game, which is part of why I want to play it, because it seems like it's a good game. I've heard good things about it. You've never played any Breath of Fire games, and you doubt you'll be able to get your hands on a copy? What was my opinion on Breath of Fire 1? I think that it was good, but flawed. It had several major gaping holes in the design space of the game, specifically related to the way that it handled level ups and balance. The balance was just real bad, and like both character balance and encounter balance seemed off, and there wasn't enough mechanics. There wasn't enough verbs, right? At the end of the day, there was no decision making. It was hit with your heaviest attack, or save your mana to hit the next monster with your heaviest attack. There was no, this enemy has an AoE, so I should take it out first. There was no, this enemy is weak to fire, so I should use that. I should focus on elemental weaknesses. It was always just very, very straightforward, and not in a good way. So while I did think the story had some interesting beats, and while I do think that the gameplay had some interesting moments, and I do think that the premise was good to set up future games, there just wasn't enough there to really sink my teeth into, frankly. So I don't think that I will play, that I'm I don't know. I thought it was alright, basically. In short, it's okay. But I know that Breath of Fire 2 is more well loved, and frankly, it's a studio's second game that they will have learned from the first one, and it comes out after more like of the more popular JRPGs of the era had come out. So I have every reason to think that it will be an improvement on that. You can turn into a dragon in the first game too, for the record, in Breath of Fire 1. Time Splitters? Should I play it? Isn't that a bad game? Isn't that one of those comedy bad games? Or am I thinking of something else? I don't... Breath of Fire 2 might be similarly grading in a different way. I'm curious. I don't know. How long of a game is Breath of Fire 2? That's my question. Because Breath of Fire 1 wasn't that long, and I appreciated that it didn't overstay its welcome. You know what I mean? The game with the most annoying level-up system was Unlimited Saga. My game with the most annoying level-up system for me was probably Oblivion. And I loved Oblivion. I loved the heck out of that game. But my goodness, the level-up system in that game was real dumb. All JRPGs are games that you know, and you think they're very fun, but you often see encounters that are unbalanced. Yeah. Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game of all time. And I love it. Although I will say, I am surprised, shocked frankly, at how many of my favorite of all time things actually have come out in recent times. Like, I think Nimona might be one of my favorite movies of all time now. I think that, like, Sea of Stars really does slide up on my list of one of my favorite games of all time. Every Monster Hunter that comes out is better than the one before it, and I really feel like the modern era is doing extremely well and doing better and better every day. What do I mean by that? Well, it seems to be that for a long time during the 2000s, there was a big stretch where a lot of things were coming out that weren't better than what came before. In movies and video games specifically, I'm talking about. Like, games that, like, you didn't have your Illusion of Gaia's, and, like, you didn't have as many things like that. These, really top-tier games. You had a couple out that came out in that time period, obviously. You had your Half-Lifes, and you had, like, some excellent games in that era. But I always kept on saying, well, nothing's going to change my favorite video game is Final Fantasy VI. And now I sit down and say, man, Sea of Stars comes real close. Or, nothing's going to be better than Princess Bride. I think Nimona might actually be my favorite movie now. Or, nothing's going to be better than, it's another good example. For anime, nothing's going to be better than Cardcaptor Sakura. And then this, like, Dungeon Meshi is just so good. Like, for a long time I thought nothing was going to beat out my favorite anime series outside of, like, Cardcaptor Sakura, Kakuo Nuku Nuku, and, like, some of the classic anime. And the part of that is nostalgia. Part of that is admittedly my own nostalgia. But then you have Dungeon Meshi come out, shattering my own nostalgia, and me just sitting down and saying, dang, this is better. This is amazing. This is incredible. And that's pretty cool. Like, it really is awesome to see so many great things come out, especially in these past couple of years. Homestuck is no longer going to be my favorite webcomic. I mean, Homestuck was never... as much as I meme about it and as funny as it is, and as much as I guess I did follow it from the start, Homestuck was never actually my favorite webcomic. Not really. It was always a good one. For a long time, I would say my favorite was probably Gunnerkrigkort. Gunnerkrigkort was probably my favorite webcomic for a long time. Not counting manga stuff. Bah. I used to read a lot of webcomics, and yeah, and even when it came out, I said that MS Paint Adventures Problem Sleuth was better than Homestuck. And I still think it is. Homestuck went full unhinged off the rails in a way that was both good and bad, whereas Problem Sleuth, from the very beginning to the end, was more consistent in its tone and absurdity. Problem Sleuth was more interesting in the formatting of, actually feeling like an input-based comic where the author was writing out based on prompts, whereas Homestuck was just, hey, look, it was just do weird stuff using the input prompt as a framing device, rather than actually as a interesting storytelling tool. So even when Homestuck was out, I didn't think Homestuck was as good. Kingdom Hearts, though, is phenomenal. That's that. If you want a good, a complicated story that's absolutely hog wild, I'll take Kingdom Hearts over Homestuck. You can quote me on that. Did I ever read Two Kinds when it was in serialization? No, I did not. I heard of it. I probably read it. I probably read a little bit of it, but I didn't. I worked a job doing tech support for a long time, and I read a lot of webcomics because they were simple and straightforward enough that I could just read those webcomics while doing my job, while taking customer phone calls. And my boss was like, "Hey, as long as you're taking the call, I don't care." And eventually, they were cool with me playing video games at work. So, again, as long as I could still help the customer, it was cool if I just logged into an MMO and did stuff online during the call. That was a really bad job for other reasons, but that was a nice aspect of it, is the ability to do whatever I want and just be like, as long as you do your job, I don't care. That was nice. Link having a personality was refreshing, even if it was just a generic hero. Yeah, I mean, Link is supposed to be a reader insert, right? The point of Link is that he's supposed to be you, and therefore he has a blank slate so that you can imprint your own personality onto them, right? And that's good. That's a good way of handling it. It just doesn't work well in a manga format. So if you're having a manga format, yeah, you want to have more of a personality because you have to be interesting. You can have manga where the main character's personality is very bland so that the reader can imprint themselves on it. Sword Art Online does that. I mean, that's what a lot of isekai are made so that you can imprint yourself onto the protagonist. But you do need more personality in that than you need for a silent protagonist in a video game. It's just scales. This is the difference of scale, right? It's just a difference of scale at that point. Because you need to have a voice actor, you need to have a character personality, you need to have some writing behind it. Whereas for Zelda as a game, you don't need any of that. Your character is how you move, right? Your character is how you move and where you walk to and what button you press. So you don't have any real personality at all. And then sometimes you add a little bit of flavor, personality then as flavor. But you don't have to. I'm not saying that none of these games have that personality. I'm saying that they don't always need it. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense now? I don't know. What is Gordon Freeman's personality? Right? We know that he has a degree from MIT. and he has a crowbar. His personality is dude with a crowbar. Whereas if you turn that into a TV show, they're going to have lines. They're going to have dialogue. They're going to have to look at a situation and say something for the audience. They're going to have to be a more fleshed out character, even if it is still an isekai style insert. It's going to have to be a bit more focused, personalitied, written, designed. Gordon Freeman's personality is looking like your history teacher. Yeah, he looks like everybody's history teacher, and I think that's kind of what they wanted to go for, was that fairly generic professor feeling. It makes sense. He's just a dude working at a science lab, and not one of the scientists. He's just working. You know, he's in it. He has a college degree, and he's moving around bins more than anything. He's respected, but yeah. If I played Chrono Cross, I've never played Chrono Cross. I played Chrono Trigger on stream, and that was my first time experiencing it. I've never played Chrono Cross. Does that have a PC port? It was a PlayStation game, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Am I wrong on that? I might be wrong on that. I have no idea. I have no idea. It is on Steam now. I should look that up. Chrono Cross the Radical Dreamer. Is that it? Recent reviews mixed. All reviews mixed. Ooh, that does not bode well. I would like to play Final Fantasy 16, but I miss the it's not a JRPG anymore. I feel like Octopath Traveler is more of a Final Fantasy game than Final Fantasy 16. And that's just because historically, you know, that's what a Final Fantasy game looks like, and that's how I feel about it. They've been making the change from, you know, into an action game for a long time now, and I don't doubt that it's a good game. I don't doubt that it has a good story. But I've not played, what was it, Origins, or 7 Remake, or 16 yet, because it's less the kind of game that I'm super excited to play. I think I probably will, and I will probably enjoy it if I'm being honest. I've never played Final Fantasy 13 either, for that matter. Well, no, I have. I just didn't beat it. I've played every Final Fantasy before then, several times over, in fact. But 16, I just am genuinely more excited to finally install Octopath Traveler 2 than I am to play Final Fantasy 16. Which makes me a little sad. I enjoyed 15. 15 was okay, but it was definitely more action-y than I expected it to be, or, well, frankly, than I wanted it to be. I definitely do want to do more Lies of P recording, though. I was enjoying that, but the funny thing is that my initial goal for Lies of P was to make it a regular offline stream, and then and then have extra episodes stockpiled if I got sick, so I could put them up. And then I got sick before I had any episodes stockpiled, so I just didn't have anything to go off of. It's like I was too sick to record it, and then for several weeks just sick enough that it's like I can stream, but I'm not going to strain my voice by recording on the same day. I'll be going back into it soon. And I'm not going to play Bayonetta. I don't like that type of character action. I don't know. Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, and frankly, Scarlet Nexus are just examples of a game that I don't really think I'm going to go back to. I'll play Souls games. I'll play the, Souls type games though. But the frantic character action stuff like God of War, it's just not made for me. Chrono Trigger is interesting, but Chrono Cross feels like a failure. Is it popular here? No, it's not popular here. But sometimes it's funny or interesting to play a game that is not popular. And I am also a game designer, so playing a game that's bad, for whatever definition that is, playing a game that's not very good, can lead to some interesting discussions about why it's not good. If any of you are going into game design or game development, you should play bad games. You should play bad games, because that will help you learn how to hone your own craft better. So, no, Chrono Trigger isn't, Chrono Cross is not a well-respected game right now, but I do think it could be an interesting game. And interesting, it's better to be interesting than good sometimes. You'll buy me a PS5 to play Demon's Souls? Bet. Bet. You do that, I'm in it. I will do that. It's interesting and very educational. Absolutely. When is the Call of Duty stream coming? I mean, Helldivers is probably as close as we'll get to that. I did used to play Call of Duty. I played Modern Warfare 2. I played Black Ops. I played a lot of Black Ops, actually, back when it was relevant. And I didn't hate it. I was quite good at it. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I just want to play more story-driven games now. And I don't think that that's the kind of story that's going to interest me as much. Could do another sniping game. Sniper Elite is, or Sniper Ghost Warrior. I played Contracts 2 on the channel a very long time ago. And it's fun. I do like those games. I like those more than the Call of Duty style games. I also got gifted Needy Streamer Overload, and I actually don't know if it's stream safe, oddly enough, but that could be an interesting thing. I believe it's a visual novel. Dark Souls 3 when? So, okay. For anybody who didn't know, I was scheduled to be... Did I ever put that on YouTube? Actually, I don't think I did. I'm gonna upload that now. I actually have that uploaded. I have that playthrough uploaded right now. Hold on, let me find it. I won't upload it while I'm streaming, but yeah, actually I do have the playthrough of Final Fantasy Dark Souls 3. I don't do a lot of MMO content. I used to, but I don't anymore. I have a plan for Dark Souls 3. I have a thought, I have an interest, I have a goal, I have a hope, I have a dream. Whether or not that dream amounts to anything, we'll have to find out. There it is. Yep, okay, I have it ready to upload. You were there for the entire playthrough with Sprig. It was amazing. Yeah, that was it. It's going to go up. I'll put it up on Sunday. But yeah, it was on done on Sprig's channel. I'm not gonna bury the lead on that. Sprig's band. Sprig did a community event was involved with the modding scene. Sprig did not take precautions to make sure that her account was not flagged, and Sprig is banned from the Dark Souls 3 servers. By which I mean she's relegated to only being able to access the servers for other cheaters, which is not the servers you want to be on, trust me. So she can't play it. The goal was to play through that with Sprig the way we did for Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, both of which are on the channel, in the same way, except the gimmick was going to be that she was going to take my style of weapon. That is to say, Sprig was going to be playing Rapier, Dagger, Cestus, and I was going to be playing Sprig weapons, which is Great Sword, Heavy Maul, and just the heaviest bonk stick possible. The opposites. I'm a dex build player for life. Sprig is pure strength, two-handed, let's go. And I respect that, but I don't usually like that. But that was going to be the gimmick of the stream, was that Sprig's playing my build, I'm playing Sprig's build. Unfortunately, it just got, it just perished because of the ban. So, I do have a plan for Dark Souls 3. I don't know if I'm ready to announce it yet. Suffice it to say that there might be a Dark Souls 3 playthrough on this channel at some point within the next month or two. Depending on how things play out. We'll see. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Sekiro is another interesting one. The PS4 that I have, which is not mine, it's actually borrowed from Polearm Guy. Oh wait, I do have Sekiro on PC. That's right. I never played through it. I actually kind of bounced off the game, if I'm being honest. See, the game... I liked the stealth aspect of the game. The way that you could sneak away and backstab people to progress. I really enjoyed the stealth aspect of Sekiro. But... I didn't learn how to play the game. So when I actually had to fight a boss, I was like, I don't know the mechanics. I don't know how to do things because I've only walked through the grass and backstabbed people the entire time. I don't know how to actually play the combat part of the game. So I never beat Sekiro. I never got much past a boss. And then I got to a section where I had to go across rooftops and there were snipers that were throwing poison daggers at me or something, I think it was. And I was just like, well, I can't stealth through this. It was after the bull. I got to the bull boss. The bull boss is, I mean, the first boss in that game is hard. The first big boss in that game is not an easy one. And I got through it. It's this, it's like this old lady too that jumps up on strings. She's the first big boss. And then you had a big dude on horseback who was pretty rough, but not that bad. And then there was a giant bull with flaming horns, which was a cool, interesting fight. But again, I didn't know the mechanics well enough to really handle it well. And then I think it was after the bull that there was a rooftop section that I couldn't traverse because I was just getting sniped and there was no stealth. And the stealth was what I liked about it most. So I just dropped it. I just casually dropped the game and never picked it back up. I'm not opposed to picking it back up. I just haven't. See here. There we go. Cool. Awesome. I fixed things. Will I ever play Jedi Fallen Order on stream? You know, I don't remember how far I got in that. I played a chunk of it, but you know what? You know what, Tuzzy? You want to collab on that? Hit me up. I would pick up where I left off though, and just relearn the game. But yeah, not opposed to it. It was fun for what I played it. I don't remember why I stopped playing it, honestly. You beat it twice? Nice. You can save my butt. You can give me all the super cool tricks and deets. Played Ending Madness on the stream. That was fun. So yeah, these are my thoughts. Lady Butterfly is not intended to be the first boss. Then why is she the first boss? If she's not intended to be the first boss... Wait, does this work? Does this work? Can I push the button? No, it doesn't work. Dang it. I need another zoom in button here. If she's not supposed to be the first boss, then why is she the first boss? Huh? Answer me that. If she's not supposed to be the first boss, then why is she? Did I just run past everyone? No, I backstabbed everybody. I snuck up on everybody. Yeah, call up Miyazaki and ask. He won't return my calls anymore. To go to bed. Fair. I think Final Fantasy IX might be coming up soon. But I think that the one that's going to come up before then is going to be Octopath Traveler 2. But I think the thing that's coming up before Octopath Traveler 2, just to get the taste of, just to get a little bit faster paced game under my belt before going into another JRPG, is probably going to be it's going to be Blossom, the Lost King, and then it's going to be probably a Link to the Past run. Generals and the Seven Spearmen. The heck is that? Oh, it's a Sekiro thing. Who's that? I don't know who that is. No idea. Momodora. Actually, I think I did play Momodora on the channel at one point. For number 4. I think I played Momodora for 4. Didn't I? Didn't I stream that? Maybe I didn't. You haven't encountered them? I don't know. I haven't touched the game in like... Last played 2019. So I have no idea, buddy. It's been a hot minute. I do not remember. All I remember is that Butterfly Girl Hard, Rooftop Part, Unfun. There's a new Momodora? Ooh. Momodora... Oh, Moonlit Farewell? I actually have that on my wish list. Yeah, that would be the kind of thing that I could handle. A lot of side-scrolling Souls-likes are very good. I wish people enjoyed Soldiers. I loved that game so much, and I felt like Henshin did a great job editing it, and I felt like the game was a lot of fun and the art style was beautiful, but oh my gosh, nobody watched it. And again, I'm not saying this to call out you guys. I'm not saying go watch it, but like, gosh, that was just disappointing. And it might be partially because people didn't know I did that. Did you know that I did a few episodes of Soldiers? Because I did. And statistically, none of you watched it. You want to keep bugging me about Funny Wizard Game? Funny Wizard Game. Funny Wizard Game? Which one? You say that, my first thought is Magica. Yeah, Soldiers with S-O-U-L. Exactly. Death's Gambit. I can't look into that. Oh yeah, Noita. Yeah. Ba-dum-bum-bum. I used to have the theme of running one action-y game and one RPG game on the channel at the same time. But the fact is that I'm too clogged with collabs right now. I say clogged as if it's a bad thing, it's not. But I have so many collabs right now that I don't. And I'm still going to keep doing every Monday. I'm going to collab with Sprig, either on my channel or hers. And I'm still going to be doing my TTRPGs. And I'm going to try and incorporate more chat streams. But unfortunately, all those words that I just said functionally mean I'm not going to be running two games at the same time on the channel anymore, which makes me a little sad. You know, I kind of liked running one RPG and one adventure game at the same time. I liked that. But it just doesn't really pan out. Because, right, if I stream, I can't stream more than 5 days a week. Not right now, not until, you know, I get enough people that that I can actually make a living off of this, which is not going to be for a very long time. And of those 5 days, one is always going to be a tabletop game, so I have 4 days to stream. And of those 4 days, if I have another collab on a day, or if I have a chat stream, that leaves me down to 3 days, and then I can't, I can't run 2 separate games at that. It used to be, before I was doing my, a bunch of collabs and tabletop stuff, it was every week was adventure game RPG chat stream, adventure game RPG collab, adventure game RPG some other variety stream. And now I don't really do a whole lot of variety streams that aren't just one-offs. I guess I did one last week with Lennon, but by and large, I don't have, that's not a big function of the channel anymore. And yeah, Wednesday, I need 2 days to shop, live, do, day-to-day stuff. And yeah, Wednesday and Sunday are just days where I kind of hold them sacred. Even if I do want to stream, and I frequently do, I usually don't, just to make sure I don't burn out. I mean, I've been doing this for like over 3 years now, right? I've been doing this for right about 3 years. Actually, probably close to 3 years on the nose right now. I think my stream anniversary or whatever what the heck that is probably was like a few weeks ago. But I've never felt any burnout, and I want to make sure it stays that way. So that's part of why, is that I have those days where I intentionally don't do that. Plus, those are also days where I get in trouble, right? Those are also days where I can go do fun and stupid stuff. And doing fun and stupid stuff is fun and stupid. And that makes for better streams, because it gives me more content to discuss. The bottle. the bucket. Arson days. It is a bucket. It actually is a bucket with a whole strap on it and everything, and a metal straw. I was gonna play Mario World 2. I was gonna do that at some point. I got a lot of things I want to play. I have a lot of good games and there are a lot of awesome games. I never heard back from Adrian for the Go Godot Jam. As far as I know, that was going to come out at some point last year, and he just kind of ghosted me. And I have no idea why. And it just didn't happen. Well, he ghosted me because it didn't happen. And I don't know why it didn't happen, and I was just emceeing it, right? I was organizing it, but I wasn't actually organizing the back end of it. It's a shame that you didn't watch some of the broadcasts. Time is limited, yeah. Use that time to see Jay doing amazing. Aww. Your English is fantastic. Don't worry about it. Wah, 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 wah. Yee. I do want to do some more game design streams. I think game design streams are good, but without the impetus of Go Godot Jam, yeah, the perfect year for when it didn't happen, exactly. The fact that the Go Godot Jam didn't happen is a shame, but it's also not my place to try to organize it. Like, I was willing to... I organized a chunk of it, but Adrian organized the backbone of it. Gosh, Sea of Stars was such a good game. I missed 3 achievements? I'm shocked. Where are they? 1 hidden achievement. Cook every recipe and find every treasure. I thought I cooked every recipe. Eh, whatever. Sea of Stars was such a good game. That's right, I was gonna play the Messenger on the channel. Yeah, I think we're gonna... I think that's the plan. I think we've figured out the plan. We know what the plan is. I'm gonna do a couple of adventure games. Blossom and a Zelda run. And then after Zelda, I think I'm going to play the Messenger. And then after the Messenger, enough time will have passed that it'll be time to do another JRPG. So I'll do Octopath Traveler 2 then. Assuming that everything goes well and that people have a good time. I hope that everything goes well and I hope that people have a good time. And please, if I do something wrong, call me out, right? If you're like, man, I don't really like the way Jade's doing this thing, just hit me up and be like, Jade, this stream sucked. No, but for real though, it is difficult to get good feedback the bigger you get. Because I'm not, like, the biggest, right? I'm a decent size, but I'm not the biggest VTuber. I'm actually quite small, in fact. It's a Kobold joke. But even at my size, getting constructive criticism is tough. It's hard, it's difficult because people don't say, Jade, you need to work on this and this. It's, Jade, I think that this would be good. Jade, I think you should do this. And when they do, it's usually either coming from somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about, like, Jade, you should do the Let's Game It Out style of content. Buddy, do you have any idea how many hours that one video took him? I can't do Let's Game It Out style content. That's not realistic. Or they're saying something that, you know, from a place of ignorance, but at the same time, I'm not looking for advice on what to do. When I ask for this, I am also asking for advice on what not to do. Like, I don't know. It's hard to find good feedback right now, and I lament this because good feedback is important for my ability to improve and grow. I need to know what people like and what people don't like. I need to know when people are having fun, but I also need to know that fun as compared to other types of fun, right? If people tell me, Jade, I had a great time watching you play a triangle strategy, that doesn't answer the question of why triangle strategy overall did fairly poorly on the channel. If people say, Jade, I think that it was great, and I had a great time watching you play D&D, that doesn't necessarily say how I can improve it, right? It doesn't say, but this part was what I really enjoyed, or this thing over here could be improved, or I think that this was cool or this was bad. I don't know. It's hard to get that kind of feedback. My mods are sometimes some of my mods are good at that, not all of them, but even then, it's just like I need to learn how to improve. There's many glass ceilings in VTubing. There's a glass ceiling around 100 to 120, where that's all of your friends. That's all of your friends and you know, casual acquaintances. There's another cap around 300 or so, which is your friends and your friends' friends. There's another cap around 700, which is when the algorithm stops pushing you and you have to start branching out and getting more viewers into your stream. There's a barrier around the 1200 mark where the algorithm will flatten you and you will need to really stand out amongst everyone else if you want to be seen beyond that. And I found my way past those various ceilings. I found my way past those various trials and plateaus. And now I'm sitting on 2500 and I'm at another glass ceiling and I don't know how to break this one. And I never knew how to break any of the ones before it. And I don't know what to do and I'm just doing my best. And sometimes that's good enough. And other times I want to scream. But seriously, go look at Twitch. Like, go look at, you know, like any of the Twitch channels and see how many people are stuck on those plateaus. How many people are stuck at that 290 followers mark? How many people are stuck on that 120 followers mark? Those are definite glass ceilings, and breaking through them is not easy. A big part of it is just making better content, but part of making better content is identifying the failures in your content. And the difficulty of identifying failure in your own content is having people tell you it, and listening and recognizing what parts of what they're saying are valid and what parts of what they're saying should be thrown out. You know, because not all advice is good advice, and finding and parsing what advice is good advice and what isn't is very difficult. And yes, it's important to continue, absolutely. And I'm having fun. Even if I never get another subscriber, I'll keep on doing this because I love this. Genuinely. I do look at my numbers, I think about my numbers a lot. But even if my numbers never went up again, I'm happy that I'm doing this and I'm having fun. But they're also going up, so, you know, that helps. Just saying. Not saying, I'm just saying. I'll see how, after we do some more adventure-y game content, I'll see how Octopath Traveler 2 does. And that is going to be the real linchpin deciding factor for what I go to from there. But as far as other types of content, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim some of the game content, the non-narrative game content from YouTube. If I'm playing Monster Hunter, I might stream that on the Twitch.television instead of the YouTubes. Because that's not really a YouTube series game. I know that many of you will find me there, and I'm not worried about that. But that will keep this channel focused on the RPGs and the narrative games. I'll do chat stuff on here because, well, it's still a channel update, and part of what I was testing today with streaming on both the Twitch.television and the YouTube.com was to see how things split up. And I'm very glad to see that most of you are on the YouTubes. But I'm worried about someone finding my channel and seeing... I want my channel to represent what I'm doing. To represent a more focused target. I want my channel to represent a more focused target towards narrative games and RPGs with the occasional chat stream. And then what I like to call treadmill games. Games that don't really have a beginning or an end. That just keep on going. Your Dungeon Stalkers, your Helldivers, your Valorant, your Monster Hunter are games that I'll play on the Twitch, which looks for a different type of content. That's my idea. I will not be streaming less, but if you don't see me on YouTube, I might be on the Twitch. But you should be following me on the YouTube because this is where the stuff I'm most proud of is always going to be. Genuinely, the stuff I'm most proud of is always going to be on the YouTube.coms. Shorts could also be a great way to get game design notes and opinions. Yeah, and I will be doing more of that. I love TikToks. I have one scripted out right now, actually, where I just need to do some voice recording for it. Actually, I have multiple that are scripted out right now that I need to do voice acting work for, but yeah. D&D videos have the streamer portraits, not their character portraits. That's true. You don't know what the characters players are playing. I mean, I think a part of that is just following along and learning as you go. Another part of that is going back and watching the beginning of it, because that is sort of meant, even though it's been going on for like a year now, that what is still sort of meant to be, you know, watched from the beginning. It's an adventure from, you know, of through. It's a storyline, right? It's a great narrative story. At least I think it's great. Part of me just wants to throw an entire paycheck at ad revenue and just or at advertising and just try to get my name out there harder. Another part of me says, Jade, that's really dumb. Don't do that. You can't afford that right now. But maybe someday. The money I make from YouTube is how I buy the games for YouTube. I have all the equipment I need. I have my hand tracking. I have a beautiful Shure SM7B microphone with a solid W audio arm. I have, you know, an ARKit iPhone that I use exclusively for tracking. It doesn't actually have the ability to make phone calls. It's actually a broken phone, but the camera works, and that's all I use it for, so I don't care. I do have a Stream Deck because I got it cheap. I don't need any other hardware for anything basically ever. So, all the money I make from YouTubing basically goes into buying the games that I play. And occasionally, you know, supplementing my mortgage. Talking about uploading videos on alternate platforms. And that's why, I mean, I do TikTok. Again, TikTok is my biggest platform, technically. I say technically, but it's not even close. I've heard bad things about Rumble. I don't know much about it, personally. But I've heard bad things about it. I don't know if that's true, but... I know very little about it. BitChute? The heck is... I have not even heard of that at all. Describes itself as offering freedom of speech, and is known for hosting far-right individuals, conspiracy theorists, and hate speech. Yeah, I don't think that one's for me, buddy. I don't think that one is gonna... I don't think I would be welcome there. I got a feeling that they would kick me off that platform for being, you know, the gay internet lizard, for being very much the arson lizard who wants to burn down the establishment. I feel like I might not be welcome on that place. Just call it a hunch, eh? And YouTube is well established for the type of content that I'm making already, you know? But they also... Which also means they aren't promoting true to free speech if they delete you for your speech. Yeah, honestly, probably. You're far right and you like my content? Cool! I mean, we don't bring up politics on this this channel, and I don't plan on starting. But you can get a pretty good idea of my politics if you've been here for a bit. They're not yours, and that's okay. That's all. We don't need to go into that any further, but I don't think that platform would be a welcoming place for me, and I can just leave it at that. I don't think that place would be overjoyed to have me producing content for them. And vice versa, frankly. But we can put that to the side and talk about how good Disco Elysium is. Because we don't need to talk about politics and video games. We can just talk about Disco Elysium instead. I do want to play that on the channel at some point. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to cover? That was most of it. Oh, what do you guys think? Video games! And more gag TikToks. I hate when people call the things I've been through trauma or abuse. I prefer to call it lore. I don't know, I got a lot of TikTok ideas. I actually have a scripts.txt. Not all of them are great, but I still write them down when I think about them. Need to better organize it. It's not really organized. It's just a text document. Hmm. "10 games to play when depressed." Pause for a moment. Why are you still here? Do you need help? You want to talk to Jade more? Hi, how you doing? How did you find me? I'm curious. Wait, what is your name? Hold on. I'm not great at reading Japanese. I can speak a little bit, but Miracle. I'll just call you Miracle. I know I have followers all over the world. I have people who follow me in Canada, in the US, in Mexico, in Brazil, in Argentina, in the a lot in the UK, a lot in the Netherlands actually, Sweden, Spain, Germany, some in Egypt. So I do have an African presence in Egypt at least. And a large number, oddly, in Australia and New Zealand, and some in Japan, as well as some in the similar nearby regions to it. And I always think that's amazing, right? I actually have a international community and following, and I think that's beautiful, and that makes me very happy. It fills me with happiness and joy. Hello, Bunny. Is that set to fade? I don't remember. There we go. Sorry, I just had to adjust a setting. Hi, hello to you. A great way to talk to me is on the Discord. Oh yeah, true. I am in the Discord constantly. Discord is my primary method of social media. I have a Twitter, but I don't do anything with it. I have a Blue Sky, and I might use it more sometime. I don't really use it a whole lot. I have a Tumblr, and actually I do use that once in a while just to post some dumb stuff that I don't put in other places. But by large, the Discord is where I am. If you want to have a good meme Discord. The trick to a healthy Discord is not to make it about the streamer, in my opinion. The key with the Discord is just to make it a nice, comfortable third space that you can vibe in and do cool stuff with, and not make it this is the streamer's Discord for the streamer. By making it a just general good place to be, people will be there. And that's my focus. Is honestly, my Discord is more about sending each other memes and cat pictures. Which, let's be honest, that's what the internet's for. That's the core of the internet. The internet is for memes and cat pictures. Yeah, the Discord is the comfy cave, and does live up to its name, very much so. Oh yes, and make my mods very sad, and it's very fun. Because I don't try. If I tried to make my mods sad, it wouldn't mean anything. It wouldn't do anything. But I make my mods sad just by existing, and I'm proud of that. That's just a skill set, you know? It's an important skill set to have, to be a goober. Oh my gosh, no one actually redeemed first on the Twitch side of it. That's extremely funny. But yeah, I think if I'm playing non-narrative games like Helldivers and Monster Hunter, I'll be streaming on the Twitch.tv, mostly just to keep the YouTube side more focused on the story games. And I might delete some of my, or not delete, I might private some of my old VODs, just because there's a lot of bloat. Frankly, it's just a lot of bloat on the YouTube side of things that, if somebody was coming to the channel for the first time, I wouldn't want that to be their first experience with the channel. I wouldn't want that to be their first experience with me. I wouldn't want that to be... It might not be something that I'm proud of. Not to say like nothing is terrible on it, but just stuff on there that doesn't really represent the direction that I've taken the channel since. You know? I love the Pathfinder game. I loved playing Terranigma. I adored playing Tunic, and I will constantly say that the Tunic game is probably the best, one of the best experiences I've had in modern gaming. But then again, I also have Untamed Tactics, which ended up just being a pretty mediocre and meh game. I also had, you know, the Mario Sunshine playthrough, which I did 3 episodes of and dropped because no one cared about it. I also had, like, you know, I also have ancient playthroughs using my own old model where I just played a single episode of Bloons Tower Defense, where I don't need to have that. That doesn't, you know, represent the channel. That's not, you know, good or important, right? Like, I have Chrono Trigger, which was phenomenal, and I'm so glad I played it, and it was a wonderful experience. And my Final Fantasy VI playthrough, which is a delight. Then I have Biomutant, which was a game that I played. I don't know. I'm basically thinking about cleaning up the channel so it's not so that the video section isn't just a bloated list of a billion different things. Gosh, remember when I played Scarlet Nexus and Troubleshooter? Those were games that I played. They shouldn't be listed here. No one's going to want to go watch those. I'm not going to want to go watch those. I'll keep the, you know, the good ones, obviously. I'm going to keep, you know, the most interesting ones. But I feel pretty comfortable in just blasting out. Gosh, my 500 subscriber special. Wow. Wow. So long ago. Biomutant was okay, but it was not great. It was just an okay game. It was not amazing. It was just okay. And it's also something I played a very long time ago. So I'd rather have that not on my playlists tab. Because I don't think anyone's going to want to go back and watch that playthrough. You know, I'm not proud of it, I guess is what a better way of phrasing it. I'm not proud to look back at that playthrough and to keep it there to watch. And I think that's kind of just the biggest deciding point. Is, am I proud of this playthrough? And if the answer is no, toss it. Move on. Easy as. The internet is a very good thing. I want people to enjoy it without hurting others. Yeah. It's difficult when you have been hurt. That's all. I want to be a place where people are happy and have a good time. I want to curate a place where people feel comfortable. And I want to associate with places that that are like that. Any other questions for me? Feel free to ask any questions. So I'm just looking at my potential TikTok scripts list. I'm here, I'm queer, my joint pain is moderate to severe. I have some very good scripts in here. Banana. Bananas have too many carbs, so I don't really eat them because there's just too many sugars in them for me to be able to digest. I'm a carnivore, and they're hard to eat. They're tasty, but when will my conquest of the world begin? Well, we gotta deal with some of the current systems. We gotta tear down some of the current systems first. So once that's done, then we can start the rest. Parra. I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening. I hope that everybody had a wonderful time. Favorite brand of pickle? Ooh. Stretching. I don't know about brand per se, but I do tend to enjoy the whole pickles, these small whole pickles. They're like only, yay big, and you can just crunch on, as opposed to the ones that are like pre-cut or... I guess it depends on the pickle. If it's a regular dill pickle, I want it whole. If it's a bread and butter pickle, I want it sliced. In so the little chips. That's my answer. And I also eat a lot of olives. Olives are very tasty. All right. I think that I am going to wander away. You are all wonderful. Tomorrow we will be playing Blossom Tales, The Sleeping King. What do I prefer, tea or coffee? I never got a taste for coffee. I never much got to the point where I enjoyed the flavor of coffee. So I prefer tea. And I don't have a lot of caffeine. I'm not allowed to. My mods won't let me take caffeine anymore. So, after the incident. So, see, it sounds like a joke, but it's actually not. That's actually true. That sounds like a meme I'm memeing, but that's actually just a true statement. But throat coat tea, if you're doing voice acting or if you're doing long streaming, throat coat tea is outstanding. It's a slippery elm tea. Try that. Otherwise, I do like an Earl Grey or a chai masala if I want something that's a bit more, that actually has, stuff in it. Yeah, that's my answer for that one. Be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe if you're on YouTube, be sure to follow if you're on the Twitch, be sure to dislike the video if you had a bad time. Be sure to post about me on social media and say how good or bad I am. I don't know. Just do stuff. Leave a comment. Can you leave a comment on Twitch? I forget. Probably. Leave me a comment on Twitch. Maybe leave me a comment on YouTube. Promote my stuff. Please, I don't know how to. I'm very small and scared. Follow me on TikTok. Or honestly, just follow me on YouTube. That's where all of my good content's going to be. But if you want to see more stuff, then you can follow me on the Twitch if you're in the mood to. Because I might be doing some minor stuff over there. I think what I'll probably end up doing is what I will dual stream Twitch and YouTube, and for games that are not narrative. but not keep the VOD on YouTube. So on YouTube it'll be a stream, but the VOD will not be saved. That way it won't clutter up my playlists with things that are not representative of the channel. It'll focus the channel. This whole discussion thing is about focusing the channel, so that the channel is more focused on a target instead of just being haywire with whatever I feel like doing at the time. Yeah, I'm a variety streamer, but I don't want to be that variety stream, right? I want to be a little bit more targeted. That's the idea. I hope you had a good time, and I hope to see you again real soon. Thank you all. Good night.